Good morning, engineers, online people. Good morning.
Good morning.
So again, please, all of you, check the WhatsApp group. I have sent you some files that we are going to use. Please download the file in the WhatsApp group. Mariana is done. She's done with the modeling. Good, congratulations. A and B almost done. Only staircase is remaining. Good, that's fantastic. How about others? Isaac, how about you? I think you are done as well. Okay, that they have already done modded all the elements. Good. Isaac, the same. That's fantastic. Okay. Good. So let's go on. For those who are still modeling, please take a pause and let's see today's topic. Okay. So from the exercise that you had, you have seen that you modeled everything from scratch. Okay. So you started by modeling grids, and now you are modeling those elements. Okay. However, there is a way that you can use in Protastructure to facilitate that kind of modeling. So you may use what we call external reference, okay, so that you can grab the drawing and use in your software and use it as a reference. So that's what we are going to see. And we will also see how you can import some element from that external reference that you are using. So I will ask you all to open, save your work, then open a new project, an empty project. Okay. Open a new project, please. Have you all opened a new project? Please do this so that you can yes. Okay, so under the building setout, after opening a new project, you want to put a drawing in our project as just a reference, to be used as a reference. Okay. So we'll be using the file that I have sent you in WhatsApp group. Okay. I hope everyone have downloaded the file. So
Hello, engineers. Wait patiently. I think at the venue they are having internet issues, but it's being resolved. I hope in 2 minutes to 3 minutes the instructor will be back here. Confirm with me if you heard my message in the chat box.
So you have all downloaded the files and you have opened a new project. So sometimes when you are working on a project, okay, so you don't need to model manually without referencing. Sometimes you need to do a referencing instead of seeing the drawing on another side, on another computer maybe, or another device, or even on a printed Okay, so I was saying to open the external reference drawing, you have to go to the building setout tab. Okay. Now go to the external reference drawing. Click there. You will have this dialog box. Okay. So we want to add the file that I have shared with you on a WhatsApp group. So after having this table, it is still empty. There is no reference drawing so far. Okay. So you have to go to add. Okay. Add. Click on add. Then you will have to browser in your computer, see where you have saved the file. Then click on the one called ground floor and open it. You will have now one file in the list here. So do that so that we may have we may be at the same point. Open the ground floor. Okay. One minute to do so that everyone can have that ground floor open in this referencing table. So note that the format of the file that is referenced here must be a DXF file. Okay, so it means the file that I have shared was in the DXF format. Okay, so it's a must to have it's a must that file must be a DXF file. Okay. So do you have? Are you at this stage, all of you? Okay, good. So you see that we have our file here. The important thing to check first is this story number. Okay, the story number. The story number is 1 because as this is a new project, I only have one story. Okay. And if I had different stories, now I would have to choose here. Okay. So make sure that you have 1 because you are referencing the ground floor, which must be on story 1. Okay. This is just the path of the file where you have saved it. Then this unity, you see the unity here, you have must be the same as the unity in the DXF file. Okay, so it was in millimeter. Then use color. So the remaining column here I will explain it later. Okay, so for now just make sure you have millimeter here under unit, and story you have story 1. Okay, but if you see in the background here, it is still empty. Okay, so to see the drawing, you have to come to the first column here under active and just tick this okay, tick there and click OK. Now you see I have some drawings on my plan view. Okay, these are not embedded in my project. You see, if I try to select, nothing will be selected. Okay, it is just a reference. Okay, it is just a reference. Then I can use this reference and start drawing manually, if I can say. So the good thing about this, the software will try to snap on different points. For instance, if I have referenced this and I want to create this grid 1, okay, if I go to the modeling and try to create grid, let's say this grid A, okay, so if I try to move the cursor around here, you see it is snapping. Okay, so I can click and click here again. Now you see grid A have been created. So Mariana, you are not able to see the DXF file. So I will repeat the process for you to see if you have you are doing the right way. Okay. So let me delete this. Okay. So after opening a project, a new project, okay, Mariana, please follow. After opening a new project, now go to the building setout, okay, go to the building setout, then open the external reference, okay, external reference drawing, click there, it is under building setout, you'll find this dialog box, okay. Then after this, you click on add, okay, on add. If you click on add, now you have to browse where you have downloaded, where you have placed your file. Then click on the ground floor, okay, the ground floor. Then click on open. You will be able to see the files here, okay. So before clicking on activate, make sure that the story number is 1 and make sure that the unity is millimeter, okay. Then click on activate here and then click on OK to close this, and then you will be able to see the drawing. So try it, Mariana, and let me know. So I will take like 1 minute. I'm going to support some of the physical. Okay, online people, I'm back. And Mariana, is it now okay? Were you able to load this drawing?
Engineer?
Yes.
Sorry. When I go to add, when I browse, I don't see the Excel files.
So where did you save the downloaded file?
The downloaded file is the download file.
Okay.
Or should I
move? So no, even in download it's okay. So when you are here on add, make sure you go to download. Okay.
Yes, I did.
And make sure that here it is in DXF. Okay.
Oh.
Then you will be able to see the file. Or you can go to the download, maybe move the file to another folder and see if it will work.
Okay, let me try that.
Move the file from download folder to another folder and try again. Let's give Mariana like 2 minutes for her to try to load. Then we will go on with. Then I will proceed.
Engineer, still don't see them. Hello.
Yes, can you try to share your screen? I'm going to stop mine. You will share your screen so that maybe I can support. Can you share the screen?
The screen, I'm using 2 screens. Maybe let me log in. Let me log in. I'm using this another screen.
Okay.
So what I did? Sorry. I go to building setout, then external reference. Let me start again.
Yes.
External reference. Then add.
Yes.
Okay. My file are here. Let me show you my folders.
Okay.
They're here. Also, I put them in the desktop. But they're here. These two. I downloaded.
Then copy them.
I already copied them.
Then paste it in another folder. Now go back there. Leave this.
Okay. I pasted them here.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah.
They're here.
Can you click on one of the file? Click on ground floor.
This one.
Can we expand this right? I want to see the size of that file. If okay. So what is the meaning of that green blue arrow on under status? Is it on this? Is it? I think these files are on OneDrive. They are not on the computer. They are stored in on OneDrive. So can you copy and paste them on the local drive of your computer?
Okay. Maybe copy somewhere.
Yes, try to paste somewhere. So it is in Mariana, new folder. Okay, so go back. Yes, try to do it again.
Okay, here, same.
You click on ground floor. Click on ground floor, then open.
Okay.
Now activate. Click on active. Click the active, the first column.
Yes.
Yes. Then okay. Click on okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it is resolved.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Welcome. So stop sharing. Good. So let's go on, and now I will share my screen again. So I was saying that after referencing your drawing, okay, now you can start modeling. So for instance, if I had to model grids, this was grid A, so I will name it. Just by doing so, I can create grid easily. I don't need to create the first one and offset, okay, or move or whatever. Just you see that even dimensions are being measured automatically. Okay, so it's a matter of just remodel. So if I want to model this axis 1, so it's a matter of changing here, put 1. Okay, now I will model this one to be axis 1. Then I have axis 2. You see, dimensions are automatically put it there. So you can model as you wish. If you maybe here we had a column. Let me see, I have already here we have a column. So if I have to model the column, so the 200 by 200 column, then I can come and automatically model column. Okay, So if I want to turn off the reference to see what I have modeled, again, you have to come back to the modeling, to the building setup, external reference, then I will deactivate here. So if I deactivate this, click OK, you see the reference have gone. Okay, I remain with only my model, what I have created. So if I open the 3D view, you will see the axis that I have created and the column that I have placed. Okay, so you can use this method, okay, to quickly model using that drawing as a reference. You can activate it again and do the remaining work. Okay. So another thing about these settings that we are seeing here, you see we have a use color settings. So if you tick this, now the drawing will no longer be grayed out. It will have colors, the colors that we had from the DXF file. Okay. Now we will have colors, okay, grayed out. Good. Again, you can change the your drawing. So if I try to reduce, click on the drawing somehow fading, okay? Achieve, okay? Good. So the scale factor, if you want to scale, you can do that, but is not recommended because the scale to have must be one as long as the unity here. I'm saying now here the next one is the offset. So the offset is 0, 0 in X direction and Y direction. It means we didn't move the drawings. Okay, we didn't move the drawing. So sometimes, let's say we are done with the ground floor. Okay, so you have to model. If you wish, you can model everything. Okay, so let's suppose you are working on a multi-story building, of course. Then how can you reference the first floor or the second floor, the upper floor? Okay, so that's what we are going to see. So let's suppose you are done with working with the ground floor. Now you want to create another story so that you can work on the upper floor. So in that case, okay, you have to come to story, then insert story to add another story. Okay, see, I have another story. So on story 1, I have my drawings. Let me increase the opacity. I have my reference drawing, but on story 2, I don't have the drawing, the reference drawing. So I want to add another drawing for the first floor. 2.9. I was talking about referencing a drawing on the upper story. So what we did, we created the second story. So we have story 1. We have also story 2. So you remember how to create story. Okay. So after creating story 2, you can see that on story 1, I still have the drawing, the reference drawing. Now on the second story, I want to put also another reference, another drawing. Okay. This procedure is the same under building setup. Open the external referencing. Okay. Then now click on add. We are going to add another drawing. This time will be the first floor. Click on open. Now, before activating, make sure story 2 is activated here. Okay. So then click on active to activate. Then click on OK. Now you'll have the first story drawing. Okay. So do you all have this first story drawing? So take a look on my screen. Okay. You can see that this reference drawing is not aligned with the below drawing. Okay. You can see I had grid 1 here. For the reference drawing, it is around somewhere here. So before starting modeling, you have to align the top drawing with the what we have on the story 1. So how can you achieve that? Okay. Again, you have to go back to external referencing, where you will have this table. What we want to move is this second one. So make sure it is the one which is selected. Sorry. Make sure it is selected like this. Well, it is selected. Now we have a move button. We want to move it. So click on move. Okay. So we have to pick a reference point. Okay. So I will take, you see, this grid, the intersection of grid A and 1. So this will, I'm going to use it as a reference, A and 1. Okay. So I will take the grid A and 1 for the drawing, which is this point. Then I will move it to this point. Good. So I will zoom to make sure that I'm selecting the right point, intersection of A and 1. Then I will move it to the intersection of A and 1 here. Make sure I move it here. Again, you will have, after clicking there, you will have again this box. And under offset, you will see the distance that you have moved in X and Y direction. So it is no longer 0, 0. Then yes, that's what I want to achieve. Then click on OK. So if I click on OK, now you will see that now it is aligned. Okay. So now I'm sure that the drawings on story 1 is aligned with the drawing on story 2. Then if I had to model columns, then I can continue modeling columns, image, whatever. Good. So that's how you can reference a drawing. Okay. So the first thing is to keep in mind is that when referencing, this drawing must be a DXF format. Okay. Then you have, after loading, you must double check if the loaded drawing is on the correct story. Check the unit, then you will activate. Okay. Good. So we have another button here, okay, which is remove. Okay. So remove is different from deactivating. For instance, if I click on this and deactivate, so it is turned off in the background here, but I still have the file under the external referencing drawing tab. But if I click on it, okay, and then remove, then it will be deleted from my project. If I click OK, it is no longer here, and it is no longer in the table here. So it means it has been removed from the project. Okay. So that's the two difference between deactivating and removing. Is there any question so far? Any question? So if everything is okay, I want you to go back on story 1. If you have modded something, make sure that you delete everything, okay? So that you remains like an empty project. So you don't have any member. In 3D view, you see nothing have been created. Okay. Yes, delete everything. Yeah, on both stories. Story 2, nothing there. Story 1, there is nothing. Okay. For the external reference, you cannot delete it. You have to turn it off or remove it under the external reference. Okay. If you have something like this, you cannot select and delete. Okay. So remember that this is just a reference. So you have to go back to the external reference and remove it from here. So now we have an empty project again. So now everyone know how to reference an external drawing and how you can manipulate it so far. Okay, how you can move it, how you can change the opacity, how you can model from it. Now, the next topic, okay, we are going to see how now, instead of modeling each and every member manually from the external reference drawing, how you can now import those members. Okay. So Protastructure will help us to just import members. So let's see it in action so that we may understand. Okay. So again, going to press the ground floor as we had before. Okay, activate it so that you can have it like this. Okay, so no members have been created. I'm just referencing, okay, the ground floor on story 1. So make sure that you have only referenced the ground floor. It means under external referencing, you have only the ground floor on story 1, which is activated. Okay, and try to go in a 3D view to make sure that there is no member, only the referenced drawing. You don't have any axis, you don't have any column, any beam. Okay, just only referenced drawing. So you remember the first way I showed you, the manual way of doing things, was to start modeling members one by one by creating axes, by creating columns and whatever. So we are not going to do that. So we are going, the software is going to try now to import all those members. Okay, so instead of creating axis one by one, we will use import so the software can recognize the axis and then model them by its own. So how can you do that? Okay. So again, it is done under the building setout in the external reference drawing, the same table we had. Now here we will see the import button. Import. Then I will click on import. Then we'll see this ProtaBIM tab. So this is one of the advantages of using BIM software. Okay. You remember when I was explaining on the first day the modules of Protastructure suite, we talked about ProtaBIM. Okay, you remember we talked about ProtaBIM, which help us to communicate with external software. So This is one of its demonstration. So we are going, if you check on this icon, we are going to grab some element from a DXF file to Protastructure. Okay. Good. Are we all together here? So then, if you check on the list here, on this list, we have different members. We have grids, we have columns, we have walls, beams, slab, and so on. Okay. So you will have to tick the members that you want to bring from the DXF to Prota. So if I want to import only grids, so I will make sure only grids are selected like this. If I want to import column, I will check columns, I will check walls and whatever. Okay. Good. So let's go on for now. For the demonstration, I will check all of this. I want to even slab. Okay. So we will import them. We will see how the structure will behave, the imported member. Okay. And then later on, we take a conclusion about this kind of method. Okay. So these are some settings. So leave them as default for now. Okay. Then I will click on import here. I will click on import. We have this warning telling you that this process will not be undone. Yes, I want to continue. Click on OK. Then we'll have like a summary of what happened. Okay. The number of lines which have been converted to grid are 16. Okay. The number of polyline which have been converted to column are 21, and so on. It's just like a summary of what happened. So click on close. And then click on OK. So you will see that in the display, we have some elements that have been modeled automatically. Okay. Good. So try and make sure that you are here so far before. Are we together? Do you have some? Okay, for online people, I can see we are together so far. So good. So let's try to investigate what the software have imported. Okay. So I will try. I will start with axis. So this axis, you see, it was one line. It is one line. This was one. That's okay. So this one, if you see in the background here, it was grid 2. Now it has been imported as 1B4G, something like that. So there is a mistake here. For grid 3, it's okay, but for grid 4, there is also a mistake. Okay. So let's see for the horizontal one, A and B, it's okay, but here there is a mistake. Okay. The same goes there. So let's see, try to explore the columns. Columns are almost okay. Good. So for the beams, this one is not really okay, because you can see it was 200 by 450. Now it has been imported as 200 by 400. So which is wrong. This is wrong as well. So this is worse because they have increased both the width and decreased the. So if I try to go for the 3D, You see, even the height of the beams, they are not correct. Okay? The slab were not imported. Good. So I wanted to show this, okay? Because when you are using this method, it is not like exact, okay? Because you know the DXF file, for those who said you are familiar with AutoCAD, you know from AutoCAD you can save those DXF. So the DXF file are just 2D drawings. They are just lines, okay? So now here we are talking about 3D model. So converting lines into a 3D object, sometimes you understand it cannot be exact, okay? So it is recommended whenever you will be using this import method from a DXF file, it is recommended to import only grids and columns. Okay, so whenever you will be using this method, only import grids and columns, then model the remaining elements one by one. So that's what we are going to try to do and see if there will be a difference from this. So you see now the axis, you have seen that they were imported, column at least. So I'm going to select everything and delete everything so that you remain only with the first drawing. Okay. So this time now we will import only the recommended element, which is grids and column, and see if there is any difference. Okay. So again, I'm going to go back to external referencing. I will import, but this time I will only import grids and column. Grids and columns only. Then I will click on import, accept, and then close. Click OK. So do the same for your side. Import only, this time import only columns and axis to see. Import only column and axis and grids. So if I try to investigate, okay, if I try to investigate now, you remember here on C we had an error before when we tried to import everything, but you can see now grids, okay, have been well imported. D prime as a D prime, E as E. You can check even these ones here, they are all have been all well imported. So if you take a look to the columns, everywhere we had the column, it have been well imported. Good. So if I try to go to the 3D, okay, you can see now how columns are touching the grid, which means they are respecting the story height. Everything is okay. I can even deactivate this for you to see clearly what have been achieved so far. If I turn off the drawing in the background, that's the result. So you can see that it is recommended that only grids and columns must be imported. Then from here, after importing grids and column, then you can turn on the drawing again then start modeling beams and slab. For instance, for example, I can see this beam was 200 by 450. Then I can come and draw a beam of 200 by 450, which was spanning here. Okay, have another one here. For instance, if I do like this panel, this is how it was supposed to be. Okay, so if I turn off the external reference, you see this is the model. Okay, so that's how you can reference a drawing and how you can import some members. So the exercise that I'm requesting you to do before we go for the break, okay? After referencing this, after importing this column and the axis, like I did here, try to model all the beams. Only for this story one only. Complete the modeling of all beams. I want to see how you will model those beams. If you will be able to recognize how the beams were placed on this drawing. So try to complete and draw all these beams. Let's take like 5 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes. Engineer Chedha, there is a question. Okay, let me check. Please come again. How did you delete the previous imported element? So to delete, what I did, I just selected everything, okay, like this. Then I clicked on delete key on my keyboard. Okay, so Engineer Chedi, I believe you are following. I just selected everything like this. Then use a delete key on your keyboard. Okay, then you will have like a notification saying that do you want to delete axis, column, and beam because they are the one which are selected. Then click on OK. Then everything will be deleted. If I go to the preview, it's saying everything has been deleted. Now, if you want to remove this drawing, the reference drawing, okay, I have to go back again to the external referencing, then deactivate to have an empty file again. Okay. Good. So that's how it was done. So complete the modeling of the beams, and let me see how it is it be looking like. Okay, online people, I can see you are done. Isaac, Romeo, can you take a picture and send it to the WhatsApp group? Please send what you have done in WhatsApp group. I want to see and give you some feedback. Good. I can see for yeah, that's it. For online people, what you are doing is correct. Online people, I'm waiting for the work of Daddy, Chedi, and Mariana. I think those are the ones who didn't send their work. So can you please do that? Engineer Chedi? Even Daddy? I'm waiting for your work, please. Okay, so maybe Chedi is not ready. So let's take a break, 30 minutes, then we will be back after 30 minutes. Thank you. So good, I can see you are ready. So the project we had created was just for demonstrating how to reference drawings, okay? So now I want you to open, okay, you can open the project that you were working on yesterday as an exercise. I mean, as the one you were using modeling columns and whatever, not the final project you did at the evening, okay? So if you didn't save that, it's okay. You can open any project you want, except the one you are the original project you are working on. Okay. So let me share the screen. Okay, so for my case, you remember this was the project that last time that this was the project. Yesterday, the project that I was using when I was demonstrating how to generate members, something like that. So it is the one I'm going to use, okay? So the topic we are going to see is how to create a roof member, how to create strut and purlins and cladding as well, okay? So open any project that you have, okay? And let's see how you can create those roof members. Good. So I have projects like this, okay? Now you let's suppose you have modeled every member like I have did so far here, and maybe the top is not reinforced concrete, the top part, the roofing part. You want to apply some trusses and put the roof. That's what we are going to see, okay? Remember, this part is a bit guarding the steel, so we're not diving deeper. It's just to give you like information, okay? We will not go deeper in this topic, okay? But you have to know, like, having information how to do that. So you can model still in a 3D view, or you can go in the plan view and model in plan view. It is all acceptable, okay? So let me use the 3D view. So we are going to model the roof. So we must go to which tab? To which tab should I go among the above tabs here? What do you think? Let me know. I want to model the roof member, the trusses. So under these tabs, which one should I open? Is it a building setup? Is it modeling? Is it loading? Which one? Okay, Isaac, thank you very much. This is the modeling tab, okay? So remember, I've told you that everything regarding modeling is under the modeling tab. So under the modeling tab, but this time we are not looking to the reinforced concrete member, but the steel members, okay? Good, so steel members. Then go to truss. You will locate truss. Want to model trusses. Then you'll find a truss command here. Again, you can lead the usage and the tips using this command, but I will demonstrate it. Just click on truss. Click on truss. And you see that your cursor will change to this plus icon. Good. Truss. Then you have to click the starting point of your truss and the end point of your truss. So I will click on this point to be the starting. You see, I have like a truss. Then I will come and click on the last point here. Click, and then after clicking the second point, you will have this dialog box. Okay. You have this dialog box. Are we together so far? Do you all have this dialog box? Good, good. Online people, good. So as you can see, we have different truss types. Okay. Is it okay? Can I go to model truss? Okay. I will locate truss, which is under with change. Okay. And this be highlighted in yellow. So I will click the starting point of my truss. Then I'll click on the last point of my truss. Then automatically I will have this dialog. Okay. So let me explain all these settings. Okay. We have truss type here. We have different trusses. Okay. So you may choose any type that you wish. Okay. Among the listed one here. Let me, for instance, take this one. Okay. Or I can take even this one. It's up to you. You can take any of it. So let's use maybe this. Okay. So after choosing the truss type, now I have to choose patterns. So maybe if I zoom this, take a look at this. So as long as I change the pattern, you see these diagonals and verticals are changing. Okay. So depending on which one you want to use, you have to select from among this one. So you have to choose first the truss type, then choose pattern. As long as you check the truss type, this pattern is depending on what you have. Okay. So then if you are done with choosing the truss type and the pattern, then you see different properties here. Okay, these inputs here on the right side. Okay, these inputs, are you able to see them? Will help you to modify the geometry of your truss. Okay. Good. So what you need is just it's a matter of reading, understanding which property is this, decide what to do. So for instance, there are even some parameters of labels. Okay, labels. You see like this VR, which is representing left vertical. You cannot locate it on a drawing for now because it is 0, but if I put like maybe 500, you see the VR is automatically labeled here. So you know this left vertical offset, it is the offset, the vertical offset, okay? Because this is a support. So from the support, we have an offset of 500 millimeters, okay? And on the right side, the truss is sitting on the support. So if you don't want this offset, then it's a matter of putting 0 again. Then the truss is sitting on the support here. You have, for instance, cantilever, left cantilever. So, for instance, 500 for demonstration. You see, we have a cantilever. So let's suppose this is a column, okay? So we have an offset and a cantilever, okay? So if you don't want to have this cantilever, then put 0. Then we no longer have a cantilever. So you can do the same on the right, on the left side, or on the right side. Okay. We have different parameters here. Okay. So when we come to the eaves, for instance, okay, we have this HR, which is this, the length here. It was 500. On the other side, for the right, we have 1 meter. We can manipulate this and change. Okay. You can deal with the spans if I go all the way here. For now, I have 6 spans, but if I reduce to 3, now you see the spans are 3 now. Okay. If I put 8, now the span are changing. So simply these are parameters that we'll be using to change, to manipulate these the geometry. Okay, I will give you like a few minutes so that you will have to go through and see it everything. Okay, now you are done with you are done with it. You are done with the geometry, how you want your truss to look. The next thing to do is to move from general. You see here I'm in general tab here. Go all the way to members. Okay. Now what we want to do is to cross-section. Okay, the cross-section of the team members. Okay, so move from general to members. Now, see here, I'm going to collapse everything so that you may be able to see everything here. Okay, so we have the top code, is the above one is the top code. We have the bottom code, which is this one at the lower side. We have even diagonals and verticals. Okay, so what you are seeing in green color, these are the section. Okay? The section. For instance, let me, you see for my 3D here, it is like wireframe in a wireframe. So if you deactivate this wireframe, it will be, and this is a 3D to see the cross section. Okay, is a 3D model, this one. Okay, so let's change for this top code, for instance, this top code. So if I come here to the top code, click on these green labels here, it will open this steel library. Okay, so for instance, I can change and take this kind of tubes. Okay, choose the cross section. For instance, if I select, click OK, now you see it have been changed. The section have been changed. Okay, so it means what we are doing here is just choosing the right section. Okay. So we have different steel here. It's up to you to choose. Okay. If you don't find the desired section, okay, you can always come this drop-down menu. We have other libraries from other countries. So here we were in British, but you can go to Euro. We have also other sections. You have American, you have Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, Vietnam, China, India, and so on. So you can always change it and see the desired section that you want to use. Okay. Here you can change the bottom code, you can change the diagonals, even verticals, and so on. Okay. So let's suppose that with typed here, the remaining part is just to click on OK. So if I click on OK here, now in the 3D view, you'll be able to, the truss have been created, and I'm still having the command of the truss. Okay, so I can even go and place truss on other points that time. Okay, so if applying one truss on your model and see if you will be able to have something like this. Okay, I will be around and I will try to give support if you have any question. Okay, so please try to model a truss and let's see. Online people, try at your end. If you have a question, just write it down and I will support. 5 minutes to do this. Okay, online people, I think everything is good at your end. I can see Isaac saying that it is done good, and I hope it is the same for the remaining participants for online. Good. So take a look here. So if you are done with this truss like this, you can we have an option to copy truss from one point to another. So before showing you how to do that, if you take again the truss command, remember I have nothing is selected for now. If I take a truss command, okay, and do like I'm repeating what I did, I don't need to go back to the settings. Just click OK, because the software remember the last settings that you have set. If that's what I want to achieve, then just click OK. Then regarding the copy and paste command, you can copy the truss. So for instance, if I want to put this truss to copy it to the next grid, so I will have to select that truss. You will have a copy command here at the top. So I will click on copy. Then I take the reference point, copy it from here, and then come and paste it somewhere here. Okay. In this case, I will be having my trusses as is. Okay. So if I want to do a truss on this end, okay, so now I can repeat the truss command, okay, but this time it will be from this end all the way to this end. Okay, so if I click OK, I will have the truss. Okay. Good. So if I want to modify one truss, let's say maybe this one, it's a matter of just selecting the truss, right click, go to property. Again, to open this kind of property. Then you can change, maybe let's say like this. Then it will be looking like this. Okay, if that's what you want to achieve. So you can still modify trusses at any time. Good. So you will have to go through maybe after today's sessions. You will have a time. You need to go through these settings and take a look and try to apply different type of truss. And if you meet any challenge, I will support you accordingly. So let's go on and see how to model the remaining roof members. So after modeling the truss, the next thing to do will be to add the purlins. Okay, so purlins are also found under modeling tab in steel members. All the way up here, you will see purlins. Okay, you will see purlins. If you click on purlins, you have two options: insert using 2 members or insert using multiple members. You can use any of these. Okay, let's for instance use the first one. Insert member. Come to purlin, insert using 2 members. Okay, so after doing this, you have to select the first truss, okay, and the truss where you want your purlin to span from. Okay? So for instance, if I want purlin to create purlins between only these 2 trusses, I will select first the first truss, then I will select the second truss. Okay, so let me repeat. Go to the modeling, under purlins, insert using 2 members. So if I want to create purlins between these 2 truss only, so I will select first truss, I will select second truss, and I will have this dialog box. I will repeat it again. After modeling your trusses, I want to put for a better view. You remember I showed you yesterday how you can hide some elements. Okay, so I'm going to hide everything, okay, and remain only with these 2 trusses. Because you must also be familiar to work with hiding some elements, because it is helpful. Okay, so you remember also in the display, I showed you how you can hide the total layer. So I'm going to hide all axes. So I will remain with only the 2 trusses. Okay, I have hidden everything, the remaining elements. So that I will clearly be seeing only these 2 members, because I want to work with only these 2 members. So it will be much clearer. The view will be much clearer. Okay? So to put purlins, go to the modeling. Okay, in the modeling tab, all the way to purlins, insert using 2 members. I will click the first truss, I will click the second truss, then I will have this dialog box. So please try to reach here so that I can proceed. We are back. So after reaching here, okay, you can see how purlins have been placed. You can see the purlins here, these ones. Okay. Now again, you have different settings here. These settings are related to these purlins that we have created. Okay. These profiles, of course, will help us to change the section. Remember, if you click on one of these, you remember how we have changed the sections. Okay, so you can do the same for the purlins by creating this on profile. Okay, we have alignment. For now, it is on section. If you check well here, the alignment, but you can change to be on center. Now you see, now the purlins in the center. You can move on under section and so on. Okay, depending on what you want to achieve. We have these general options, okay, where you can set different purlin settings. Okay, you can decide to make them continuous or not. Okay, this will apply if you have many trusses. Okay, so a purlin will be continuous. The placement for now, it is the top chord. You can choose bottom chord. Now the purlins will be at the bottom chord. You can choose both. Now we have purlins at bottom chord and top chord and so on. Okay, so you can see that all of these are the settings related to the manipulating this. Okay. Here we have generation method is by truss joint. It means purlins will be at every vertical of the truss. Okay, you see these verticals. The purlins are at verticals of the truss, but you can change and input purlins by spacing. If you click by spacing, now you can control the spacing of our purlins. For now, it is 1 meter. If I put 1.5 meter, now you see the spacing is increasing. So if I put 1 meter back, now you see the spacing are reducing and so on. Okay, so it's up to you. I will leave it by truss and so on. You can add the cantilevers we did for the truss, okay, or not. For instance, if I add cantilever of 1 meter, for instance, you see now I have cantilevers here. Okay. Yeah. It is under generation option, almost the last command. Okay. Yes, left cantilever or right cantilever. You can add it to the left or to the right, and so on. So simply these are the settings of this purlin. So you'd have to go through them. Then if you are done, here we have even sag rods. Okay, if you click, we're under geometry. Now if you go to the sag rod, you also have parameters related to the sag rods. If you don't want to use sag rods, it's a matter of coming here and click on none. You see the sag rod have been disappeared here. See, I have sag rods here. Now I can remove them if I don't want them. Okay, then I will have something like this. So if everything is okay with your purlins, then by clicking OK, you will automatically have purlins like this. Okay, good, try it. Let me see if there is a question here online. So how to hide everything? So to hide everything, Engineer Romeo, there is many ways. Okay. So for instance, if I want to view only this truss, it's a matter of selecting the truss. Then if I right click, show only selected, then everything will be hidden and only that trusses will be remaining. So if I want to bring back everything, just right click, show all, then everything will be shown again. Okay. Another way is just by using the display, and among these layers, decide which one you want to hide and which one you want to view. Okay. So for instance, I can hide the axis, I can show axis, can hide all the beams, or I can show the beams. So that's how it is done. Okay. So actually there is both option in placement of panels. So both option, it means that you want to place the purlins at the top of the trusses, even at the bottom of the trusses. So if you put on both, it will place purlins at the top, even at the bottom. Okay. So means, you see, for now we have only purlins at the top, but you choose both, we also have even purlins at the bottom. So that's the meaning, Mr. Chetty. Okay, good. So try to put purlins, and this time it is not mandatory to work truss by truss. I can delete these purlins for now. Now I can decide to put purlins, okay, taking this as the first truss, and all the way here, for instance, again you see trusses, I mean purlins along all the truss. Okay, so set everything. If everything is okay, if I click on OK now, I will see continuous purlins, okay, to my truss. So that's how it is. If I try to go to the plan view, this how it is looking on plan view, the trusses and purlins that I have modeled so far. Okay. You can see them here. So try for the purlin. So for multiple members, it's a matter of just clicking the first, after taking the purlin command, click the first truss, you click the last truss. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so let's go on. We are done with the purlins. Then the last thing I want to show you on this roof element is just to add the cladding at the top of the purlin. So for cladding, it is very simple. After you have designed your purlins, if you you go to the modeling tab all the way to the cladding, okay, you'll be able to locate cladding. Click on cladding. After selecting cladding, select the purlins that you have created. Okay, see, as long as I bring my cursor to the purlin, they are being selected. Then click once, then automatically the cladding will be placed at the top of your purlins, like so. Then click OK, and you will have the cladding top. So, online people, please confirm if everything is okay with the placement of the roof before we conclude this topic. Yes, okay, good. Fantastic. So for the online people, I can see everything is okay. Physical participant, everything is okay. So I can say that we are concluding the modeling part. Okay, we are now at the end of the modeling part, and we have spent a lot of time in modeling because modeling is the basic. Okay, so if the model is wrong, automatically the analysis, the design will be wrong. Okay, so that's why we took enough time almost the half of the training time. So to focus on the modeling. So now we are done with the modeling. For now, you are able to model grids, columns, shear, beam, slab, trusses, purlins, cladding. Okay. So this will be the end of the modeling. So now I can say that we are done with this tab, modeling. So let's go on and take a look at the loading tab. Okay. Good. So let's move to the loading tab. So for now, we are done with modeling. So it's time to start putting some loads to the structure. Okay. So let's start putting some load to the structure. Talking about loading, we'll start with the wall load. It means the loads coming from the masonry walls. Okay, those brick walls, the partition walls. Okay, that's what we are going to start with. But before I proceed with demonstrating that, I would like to show you, to give you like a tips of today. So, for instance, let's suppose we want to change all the beam cross sections. For my case, for my model here, when you see it is 250 by 500. Okay, let me check this. 200 by 50. Okay, so I want to change all the beams of my story. Okay, to have the cross section of 250 by 500. Okay, all the beams. So you can see all the beams here that I have. Some have 200 by 50. 200 by 500. Okay, and I want to change so that all the beams of my project have the same section. So I cannot go and edit one by one. So there is a tip of doing it much easier. So make sure that nothing is selected. Okay, nothing is selected. Then right click. If you right click, you will see member tables. Have member tables here. Then go all the way to we have different. We have axis table, column table, whatever. So for our case, we want to work on beams. So I will locate the beam table, and I will have like this table we are seeing here. This table is a list of all the beams that I have on story 6. On story 6 because I was on story 6 here. So the member I'm seeing are for the story 6. If you were on story 2, now the beam you are seeing are for story 2. Okay? So you see you were on story 1, that's why you have 1 here. Then if I want to view all the beams of all the projects from all the stories, now I have to check these all stories here. Now I will have a big list of all the beams in. You can see story 6, story 5 here, 4, and so on. So now I'm sure that I have a list of all the beams. Okay. Now I want to change the section. Remember, I want to change the width and the height. So if you see along these the titles of these columns here, I want to change the width is B and H. Okay. So to change, instead of selecting one by one like so, if you click on the title here, BW, the above here, if you click on it, you see all these columns have been highlighted. Okay, just by clicking on the title here, BW, the width. Okay, so if I click on H for the height, now this column will be highlighted and so on. Okay, so I will highlight the column that I want to change, and then you see column-wise edit here. There is a column-wise edit. So if I click there, now here I will have to put the value that I want. I want them to be 200 instead of 250. So take a look. If I click on OK, all these values will change from 250 to 200. Okay. If I click on OK, now just wait a bit. Then these will change from 250 to 200. Can you close? Wait. So after it have been changed to 200, so if I click on close, now every BIM that I will select, you see it have 200. If I go to this story, open the property, 200. So all the BIMs will be changed to 200. You can do the same. You can do the same for columns, for slab, for any member. Okay. So let's go on with now applying load. Okay. So now move from modeling. Now we are going to work with the loading tab. So click on loading. Yeah. So remember, we are talking about the masonry walls. Okay, those partition walls. So before assigning them to the project, you have first of all to create them. Okay, you have to create them. Okay, so let's see how to create those walls. So it is done under the loading tab, then under load libraries. Okay, so under load libraries, you will see partition wall loads. Loading. In load library panel, you see partition wall loads. This table contains all the wall loads that we have so far. That comes with the software. Those are defaults, okay? Those are defaults, the one you are seeing here. Okay? So, and each wall here have different layers. For instance, if I click on this first, composed only by bricks. Okay. Okay. So I was explaining that every walls have different layers. Okay. So for instance, this selected one is composed only by bricks. Okay. But if I click on this one here, it is composed by rocks and plaster. So you understand that those are layers of a wall. So I want to delete. I will delete all of this. Okay, all these walls. So we will create our own. Okay. So to delete the wall, just select it, and we have a delete load here. If you click on OK, then it will be deleted. So I want you to delete every code that we are seeing here, so that we can create our own. Okay. So we remain with an empty table like this. Okay, so if you have deleted everything, so let's go on. So we're going to create our own wall. So how to do so? To create a new wall, so you have to use this add button here. You click on it. Now it will come as a new load. Then you can variable, give it a name. Okay. Any name that you want. But pay attention when naming this, must give it a. You must not use abbreviations or give it a slang name, because this name will appear in the reporting. So you must type something which is relevant. Okay, we can say maybe 200 millimeter. I don't know, big hole, or any other thing that you want, but which is relevant. Okay, so you can choose colors. So this color, I will show you the why is it needed, but you can give it any color you want. Okay. Now here on the right side, you have to create layers. Excuse me. So you have to create layers. So to create layer, you have a plus button again here at the bottom. Click on plus. Then you will have like one layer added. Using this drop down arrow, you have to select the material. Okay, so we have different material of the unit weights. We have dense block, medium blocks, light blocks, you have bricks, and so on. So it depends on the composition of your wall. Okay. So let me select the brick, because I have chosen to have a brick wall. So whenever I choose the material here, the unit weight is filled automatically. So what I have to define is just the thickness of that wall. So if I say 200, it is in millimeter. Okay, this is millimeter. So if I put the thickness, automatically the software will calculate the load value. It will do it itself. It will automatically calculate the load value. So this one example, you can maybe add another wall if you wish. Okay, you can add as many as you wish. Okay, let me add another one. Let's call it plastered wall, for instance, and this one will be composed maybe by plaster and by bricks, for instance. So now I have added two layers, plaster and bricks. Okay, now I have to define the section of the layer, the thickness of each layer. Okay. So I have added two different walls. One is composed by only bricks, another one is composed by bricks and plaster. So you can manipulate it the way you want, depending on what you want to achieve. Okay. It is not mandatory that you do exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so just I'm showing you how you can manipulate these settings. So sometimes when you are selecting materials here, you may find that maybe the material you want to select is not on the list here. Okay. Sometimes the material you want to use may not be on this list, the default ones. So I was saying that sometimes when you are selecting materials here, you may find that the material you want to use is not on the list here. So you have always the flexibility to create your own material. So how can you do that? You will go through edit material here, under edit material. Now you'll be able to see the list of all the material present for now. Okay. Here under edit material. Now you'll be able to see the list. So I was saying, after creating a wall, now on this right side, on this middle part, you have to add layers. Okay. So for my case, I have added 2 layers for this wall. I have added one for the plaster and another for the bricks. So after selecting these materials, it comes automatically with their own unit weight. What you have to do, you as a user, just fill in the thickness of those layers. So I have put the thickness of the plaster and the thickness of the brick wall. Okay. So after putting this value, the software automatically will create the load value. And for now, you see here at the bottom, I have the total load value of my wall. So sometimes when you are selecting here among the material, you may find that the material you want to use are not listed here. So I was showing you how you can create your own material. It's by passing through edit material here. If you go to edit material, the one you are seeing are the ones we were selecting from here. Okay. So if you want to add your own, then add your own here. Okay. Give it a name. Okay. Maybe you want to use a Nziza brick, which have a 19 as a unit weight, for instance. That's just an example. If I click on OK, so the next time I will be selecting from the drop-down menu here, I will be able to see Nziza brick with its unit weight that I have assigned. Good. So that's how you can create your own wall. Then after doing this, of course, you have to click on OK. So what we have done is just to create the wall, but we have not applied that wall load to our structure yet. So we have only created the type of the wall that we will be using in our project. So the next step will be to assign the load to the structure. Okay. So that's what we are going to see. So let's go on. Let's assign the wall load. Please follow here. So the masonry wall can be sitting on the beam or even on the slab. It is all possible. So we are starting with a wall which may be sitting on a beam. So we have a beam here. Let's suppose this beam is supporting one of the walls that we have created. So how to assign those loads to this beam? So I will tile my view so that you may automatically see what is happening even in a 3D view. So this beam, it is this one. Okay. So to assign a load, take a look here, please. you select the beam. If you select the beam, right click, then you will see edit load. Okay. Or you select the beam, automatically here at the top you will see edit load. So then click on edit load. You will have this dialog box for the beam. Select any beam, right click, go to edit load. Okay, go to edit load. Okay, go to edit load, then you will see this box here. So for now, what you are seeing here in the display, this rectangle figure you are seeing here is the beam. You remember the beam have I end and J end. Okay. You can see the name of the beam. You can see the length of the beam. Okay. Then now here at the top you will be able to see the loads which are reaching the beam. Okay. Good. So for my case here, I have this rectangular beam. I made this rectangular wall, which is a self-weight. I have these triangular loads, which are coming from the slab 1S8, one slab 8. Okay, so it means for this beam, I have the self-weight of the beam itself. I have also these triangular loads here coming from the slab 8, number 8 here. Okay, so I have slab number 8. So this triangular load coming from the slab and the self-weight of the beam itself. Okay, so that's why I have these two loads so far, which is correct. So I want to add another load from the brick for the brick wall. So if you take a look here at the top, we have different type of loads. You have point load, you have trapezoidal loads, and so on. So for our case, we want to add the masonry wall, which is this one, wall loads. We see it here. So use wall load, not partial wall load. Okay, wall load here. If I select it, automatically I will have some properties here at the left side. Okay, so please follow. Okay, what I did, I selected the beam. I went to the edit load. Okay, now we have different type of loads here. I want to assign the wall load, the brick wall load. Click here, then we have these properties. So now from the load property we have here, you will see wall load library, this second row. If you select there, you will be able to see the wall that you have created. Remember the wall that we have created? So depending on what you want to assign, then you will select, okay? Here, under the wall library, select, you will see the one you have created. So depending on what you want to use, select it here. If you select it, you will see automatically the wall unit weight and average load will be filled automatically here. So it is fetching this information from the one you set it. Okay. So for example, don't close your tabs. If I come back where I set my wall type, this wall 200 brick had the total load of 4. Okay, so that's why when I'm assigning the load, after selecting it, automatically here it will be filled 4 kilonewton per meter square. Okay, then the next parameters here, take a look. The next parameters here, very important. We are going to define the height of the wall, because when we were setting the wall, Okay, when we were creating the wall, we have put the thickness. Now it is the time to put the height. So to put the height, we use these two icons. We have this one on the left and this one. Okay, but they are different. I'm going to explain the difference between these two. So if you choose to use this first one, here below you have to put the height of the wall. Okay, the height. For instance, is it 2 meters? Is it 3 meters? Is it how much meter? Okay. But if you choose, remember here, when we are talking about the height of the wall, it means the height of the story minus the height of the beam which is on the top, right? So that will be the height that we put here. But if you choose this second option, then you will put the height of the beam. Then the software will do the calculation by itself. It will take the height of the story minus the height of the story, the beam. It will know exactly the height of the wall. Okay, so they are two different. So if you choose this first one, we'll have to put the height of the wall minus the beam at the top, the height of the beam at the top. But if you choose the second option, you only here put the height of the beam, then the software will do the calculation. So for my case, I know that all my stories have, the beams have 500. So I can choose this second one, and I will put 500. Okay. And then the software will automatically know the exact height of the wall. So after putting this, the remaining action is to bring the cursor. Okay. After putting all these parameters, bring the cursor. You see my cursor here. You bring it on the wall. On the beam and left click. Just click there, and you will see the beam. The wall load applied here. Click on the beam. Just click on the beam. So now if I click on OK now, take a look. You see now my beam have become red. It means it has a masonry wall load assigned to it. And in a 3D view, you are able to see the load here. Okay? The masonry wall. Yeah. Okay. Good. So, okay, I will repeat again. So to assign a masonry wall to a beam, select that beam, go to edit load, okay? Make sure you are choosing the wall load. After choosing the wall load, you will see all these properties. From the wall library, you have to choose the correct wall that you want to apply. Then from these two icons here, we'll choose, you will have to assign the height of the wall. If you choose the first one, now here you will fill in the height of the wall, okay, the exact height of the wall, after deducting the height of the beam above the wall. If you choose the second one, you will put only the height of the beam, then the software will automatically calculate the exact height of the wall. So for my case, I have chosen the second one and I have put the height of the beam. Then after setting all this, bring your cursor to the beam, then click. If you click now, your load will be assigned. This is the load. Then click on OK to end the command, then your wall will be assigned. Yes. So if you still have the story similar, okay. So if you do the change on one beam, it will be applied to all stories. So if you don't want that, so you have to reset the similarity. Okay. So if at any given point you want to edit this wall load, it's a matter of again selecting the beam, go back to edit load. Okay, so if you go to edit load, now you see before I had only self weight and the load from the slab, but now I have also the load from the wall. So I have to click on it. If I click on it, the property will open again, so I can do some modification. So let's try to do a modification to the applied wall load. Let's suppose we have an opening in this masonry wall. Okay, so if we have an opening, so select the beam again, go to edit load, locate the wall, okay, select it. If you select it, all the load properties will open again. Then you will see the edit openings. Click on edit openings to bring this dialog box. Remember, it is similar to how we added opening in shear wall. Okay, so it is the same. So now using this add, as we have learned, we can now add opening and manipulate the size and of this opening. Okay. Let's say you have something like this. You may have even a window. Okay. You may have a window like this, let's say. May have something like this, okay? Then in this case, after putting, take a look here, after please assigning these openings here, if you click OK, you have always to update. Remember to update, okay? If you don't update, those changes will not be assigned. So you have to update first, okay, here, then click OK. In this case, in a 3D view, you see we have the openings here. Okay. Have openings. For you to view it better, please, when you are under this loading things here, you see this show in fill wall load. Make sure it is deactivated. Okay, this one. So it will help you, instead of viewing the wall load like a rectangle like this, it will be visible like a wall. Maybe it will be much easier for you. Okay, this is better, so that maybe the next time we will be applying openings, we make sure that they have been updated. So make sure you deactivate this, then it will be visible in this way. So take 5 minutes, apply wall load to a beam, apply openings, and then I will come back and explain the remaining topic on. Okay, so I think everyone have managed to apply a masonry wall as well as adding these openings. So let's take a look at other features that you can achieve with the wall load. So let's suppose that at this end here, this beam also, we have another wall. So the procedure will be the same, just selecting the beam, edit load, okay, then select on the wall load, put all the parameters, then clicking on it, okay, it will be also having the wall loads, okay. So if all the contour, let's say, of our structure have the same wall, instead of doing it manually one by one, you can copy and paste, okay. So for instance, you can select this beam which have already a wall, then we'll see copy loads here. Copy loads, even if you do right click, you'll see copy loads, okay. Or simply you can even use a Ctrl+C on your keyboard to copy. It is all the same. Then you directly see this table. It is giving you all at this right. You will be able to see all the available wall to copy. So for my case, I have only one, this one. Yes, that's the one I want to copy. Then to paste, I have to select all the beams that way I want to paste. Okay, let's say these two, for instance. Then I will have paste load here. Or if I do right click, I will have paste load. Or simply you can do Ctrl+V to paste on your keyboard. Then load will be placed. And you'll see in a 3D view, I have something like this. Okay, so let me temporarily hide all of this so that you may see what is happening. Good, we see I have copied all the loads like this. So what I did, I selected one of the beam which have the load that I want to copy. Simply Ctrl+C on your keyboard to copy. Then select the beam where I want to paste. Okay, select all the beams where I want to paste. Then Ctrl+V to paste. And this, you have all your wall loads pasted. So if I bring back everything, now you see how the wall has been placed. So you can copy and paste, okay? So the last thing I want to show you on this wall load on the beam, you can place wall loads just by dragging. So sometimes the load, the wall is not spanning all the span of the beam. Okay, maybe it is starting here, maybe ending somewhere here. Okay. So to achieve that, let me do it on this beam. I will select that beam. Okay. Of course, the first step will be to copy some load that you want to paste here. So I will select where I want to paste. Okay. So instead of pasting load, I'll click on insert wall by dragging. Insert wall by dragging. Now I will click the first point. You see, I have the command. I will come and click on the last point. Then the wall will be on a partial part of the beam. So if I try to show you in a 3D view, that's how it is looking like. So it is on a partial part, not spanning all the length of the beam. So that's how you can assign a wall load to the beam. Good. So we have seen how to create that wall in the wall library. I've seen how to assign the load to the beam. Okay. You have seen how we can copy load from one beam to another. You have seen how to assign openings to the masonry wall. So, online people, do you have you managed to deal with this loading on the beam? I was supporting people physically here. For our end here, everything is okay. So for you, okay, good. I can see that you managed. Okay, good. A and B, it's okay for you. Isaac, it's okay. Mariana, okay. Daddy, okay. Okay, so how about you, Romeo and Chedi? Romeo, okay, it's somehow hard. Okay, so can you maybe clarify the issue that you had so that I can repeat for you? And Chedi, are you around or you are not? Okay. So Romeo, I'm waiting for your clarification if you need any additional support. Okay, so that's it for the wall load, okay, application on a beam. Okay. So you may want to apply the wall beam, but not on the wall load, not on the beam, but on the slab. Okay, this masonry wall it is not always sitting on at the top of the beam. Sometimes it is sitting on the top of the slab. So let's see quickly how we can achieve that before we go for the break. Okay. So let's suppose we have a wall here on the top of the slab here, passing through the middle, let's say, in horizontal direction here. Okay. So what you will do again is to select the slab and then go to edit load. Now I have the slab. Like we did on the beam, I will have to choose the wall load. Okay, wall load. So before clicking on wall load, you will notice that we have other form of loads here. area loads because we are dealing with the slab. When we were on the beam, we didn't have this kind of loads because it was just beam. But because we have the slab here, it is a surface. Now we have even area loads here. Okay. So for now, I'm dealing with the wall load. So I will select the wall load. The procedure is the same as we did for the beam. Select all the settings here. The only difference here will come here below at the insertion method. We have insertion method here. This insertion method is the one which will help us to precisely define the position of the wall on the slab. So I will activate insertion, this insertion. Then these values here will be activated. We have starting point, ending point. We have coordinate of X and Y. So it means simply the starting position, it is the starting position or starting point of the wall. The masonry wall. The end position will be the end point, okay, of the wall. So to make it clear, okay, I'm going to use this cube here. You see the cube here? I'm going to click on top so that I will have the top view of my slab. Okay. And remember, we wanted to place a wall which is spanning here in the middle. Okay, so to do so, we have to use these coordinates here, but we must know the total length of our slab so that we may know the point at which is at the middle. Okay, so it means with this slab, I must know the length from here all the way here, which is around, let me measure using which is 4 meters. Okay, so in the middle it will be in 2 meters. So I will select again, go to edit load, select the top, choose wall load, then under insertion, I know that here in the middle it is 2 meters. Okay, so take a look here. Please take a look here how I'm going to set all these position here. Can you please follow? I see physical people here who are not looking at the screen. Justin, I need your attention, please. So we will take this. You remember the bottom left is taken as origin. So this is 0, 0. Okay. So from this 0, 0 all the way to here, we have 4 meters. And we want to put a wall which is spanning here in the middle. It means this point is in 2 meters. Okay, so if this will be my wall in this direction, it means this will be the starting point of the wall. This will be the end point of the wall. Good. So I have to put the value in X and Y direction of the starting point, taking this as 0, 0. So the X, in X direction, this point here, the X direction will be 0 because this is the origin. But the Y direction, it will be 2 meters. Okay, so it means at the starting, you see the start position X here will be 0, but Y will be 2 meters. Okay, so this will be the starting. Then the ending point of my wall here in the middle. Okay, in Y, in X, it will have the length of my slab here. Okay, which is 2 meters, and in Y direction it will have 2 meters again. So in X direction I will put 2 meters. In Y direction I will put 2 meters. You can see the preview of my wall even here. Okay, so the wall is starting here and ending here, which means this width, it is not 2 meters only, because 2 meters is ending here. So I will put 3 meters, see, on X. Now it is ending still here, okay? So you understand the logic. It's a matter of knowing the X and Y coordinate of starting point, X and Y coordinate of the ending point. So if everything is set like this, the last step is to come on the slab and click. If I click, now the wall have been placed like this, okay? So without clicking on OK, let's try to put another wall spanning in the middle like this so that we may understand it maybe much more. So I'm going to add another wall, click on wall again, set everything as it is. I will use the insertion method to control the position, okay? So we have a wall spanning in the middle, right? So a point which is here, it is in the middle of 3 meters that I had here. It means 1.5 in X, but Y it will be 0, right? From here up to here it is 3 meters for my case. So in the middle it will be 1.5. Okay, so X direction is 1.5, Y direction is 0. Here, this point here. So X direction 1.5, Y direction 0. Okay, automatically you see the first point here. Then where it will be ending somewhere here. For the X direction, it will remain 1.5, and in Y direction it will be 2 meters exactly. So we put it at the end 1.5 in X direction and 2 meters in Y direction. Automatically you see the preview of my wall. So the last step is to remember the last step of clicking the slab. Now I have like 2 walls here sitting on the slab. Then if I click on OK, take a look here. I have these 2 walls that we created. Okay, so if I try to show it in a 3D view, sorry, let me show it. I think I want to hide to isolate so that you may see the slab. This is the slab we are talking. So we have created these 2 walls which are sitting on this on this slab. Okay. So please try on your end. So try to put a wall on a slab. Okay. Okay, so online people, how is it for the wall load on slab? Please let me know for the load slab. I can see many people have left the meeting. So Isaac is okay. Romeo had a network issue. So there are some steps you missed. So I advise you to watch the recorded video because we will be sharing the recorded video. So maybe you can catch up, okay? Maybe you catch up from there. Okay. Okay, thank you, Romeo. And how about others? I can see Engineer Chedi is no longer online now. So how about others? Daddy and Mariana. Daddy, it's okay. Good. Mariana, is it okay for you? If it is okay, then we will have a lunch break. 1 hour, okay? So let's take a break for 1 hour, then we'll come back and proceed with the next topic. Thank you. I'll stop sharing now. Okay, so we have applied the load to the BIM. Okay. So let me reset this. We have applied some loads, wall load to the BIM. We have applied some wall loads to the slab as well. Okay, that's okay with the masonry wall load. Okay. So now let's move to the slab and see how we can apply additional dead loads for the slab. Okay. Because what we did for now was only for the partition wall. Okay. So how about slab additional dead load? So as we did for the walls, for the slab additional dead load, you have first of all to create them, and then we will have after to assign them to the slab. So to create those loads first, those additional dead loads for the slab, it is in loading tab. Under loading tab, now you see slab additional dead load. For the wall, we were working with partition wall load where we created walls. You remember this table? Okay. Now we are going for the slab. So click on slab additional dead load. You will have a table which is almost similar to the one we had when we were working with walls. Okay. So again, I want you to delete all these predefined slab additional dead loads. Use default one. So to delete, you remember you select one, then use this delete. So I want you to remove everything so that we can create our own additional dead load for the slab. So to add load, you have to create a load, you have to use this add button here. Click on it. You will give it a name. Okay. You can call it any name that you want. Let me call it slab additional dead load, maybe. Can call it any name. So here we have color. You can assign any color you want. So again, as we did for the walls, where we created layers which were composing the wall. Now for the slab, we will do the same. So to add these layers or materials, you will have to use this add button. So it is similar like we did for the when we were creating masonry walls. Okay. Use this add to have a row of material. Again, you go to select material, this drop down menu. You have a lot of different materials. We have gypsums, we have cements, we have ceilings, we have tiles, okay, have concrete, and so on. You see, we have a long list here. So it's up to you to know which material you want to assign. And no, they are there by default. Okay, so if you want to change this, then as we did for the wall, you go to edit material here, and then you can edit or add your own if you wish. Okay, so select materials or layers that are composing your slab additional dead load. Let me add tiles, for instance, mosaic tile. Okay, then put in the thickness. For instance, let's suppose that I have another layer. I will add another one. All right. Choose another material. Give it a thickness. Then, as we had for the wall, the software also here for the slab will automatically calculate the total load. Okay. After creating this, then click on OK. Then the slab additional dead load will be created. The remaining step is to assign that load to the slab. Okay. So how do you assign the load to the slab? It is very easy. So select the slab where you want to assign the load. Okay. Then go to the property. You go to the property, you open the property of this slab. You remember when we were talking about these settings of the slab, we only talked about the general and we skipped the loading part, this tab here. So now go to the load. So I was explaining how slab additional dead loads from here. Okay, we have already created this. Then if you want to add it to the slab, it's a matter of just selecting, opening the property of the slab. So select this, open the property. Now you see the load tab here. This general, then you go to the load tab. If you go to the load tab, now you have this. So the first thing here, the self weight have been automatically calculated. Okay. Now we want to assign the additional dead loads. Okay. So from this drop down menu here, if you click there, you will be able to see the additional dead load that you created. So if you click on it, automatically the value of that dead load will be filled in this area here. Okay. So for now, we have assigned the dead load to the slab. Okay, the additional dead load. We have self weight. We have the additional dead load to the slab, The remaining one is the imposed load, the live load. Okay, so we have live load here. Okay, so you can fill in the live load, or if you right click on in this area, if you right click, you will see the list of all live load. So I was saying, for the filling the dead load on the live load, just right click on this area, you'll be able to see these different slab. Because if I open another slab property and go to the load, you will see that there is no load assigned yet. Okay, so it means the work you have done have been only applied to the selected slab. Okay, so to make sure you apply all the loads, okay, to all slab, which method do you think you can use? I want to apply the same, maybe the same live load to all the slab in the model. Copy and paste. Okay, someone is saying copy and paste. So we had the network issue, yeah, but it is resolved now. So I will share again my screen. Okay. So we were saying that the applied live and the dead loads, additional dead loads to the slab, were only applied to the selected slab. Okay, because if I open this slab, go to the load, we see that the load have been well applied. But if I go to the next slab, there is no load assignment yet. So it means what we have done was only applied to the selected slab. So we were about to see what would be the best way of doing this action to all the remaining slab. So I asked, what do you think? What would be the best way of applying the live load to all the slab? Someone replied that we should use a copy paste. So that's what we wanted to try. So if I select the slab which has the assigned loads, go to copy load. Now I will be able to see that on this slab, okay, I have dead load and live loads. Okay, so that's what I want to copy exactly. So I will copy it. Then I will go to the next next slab. Okay, then I will paste load. Okay, and it is done. So I will have to double check. So if I open the property of this, go to the loading, now you see the load have been pasted there. Okay, so that person who said this will be one of the way, yes, it is working, which is good, but it is still not the best way, because I will have to do a copy and paste to all the slab. Okay, so I will show you another way of doing this. It's just by using the member table. Remember, so make sure that nothing is selected. Right click, then using the member table, locate the slab. Okay, slab. Okay, in this case I will have all the slab of story 1. So I will check all stories to have all the slab in my project. Good. Then what I want to change is the live load. So I will have to locate where is the live load. This is the column for live load, Q. If I click on it, Now all the column will be selected, right? Then I will use the column wise like we did and change here and apply 1.5. Click OK. Now all the slab will have the same live load, okay, of 1.5. If I want to change also the additional dead load, of course I have its own column here. It's a matter of selecting it using column wiser editor. Then I will have to check slab additional dead load, then OK. Now it have been applied. So if I close and take any of the slab here and check, I will see that it have those load applied. Okay, any slab I can check, I will see that it have been assigned those loads. Okay, so try it. So there is a question online. Will the slab load be updated also on the other story slab and cantilever slab? Yes, so when you are using this Mr. Chedi, Engineer Chedi, please take a look at this. So if you are using this member table, okay, by default, if you select member table and slab table, only the slab for story 1 will come because it is the one which is activated. Okay, this was story 1. That's why by default I will only see slab for story 1. So if you want to make the change to all the slab in the model, okay, for different stories, now you'll have to click on all story. So if I activate all story, now you see I have slab for story 1, for story 2, 3, and so on. So in this case, if you have activated all story, any change we'll be doing here will affect all the slabs in the project, in all stories. Okay, so that's it. Even if you go for cantilever under loads, you see that they have been applied the load. So that's it. Any other question online? I hope, Chedi, you have answered your question. So, okay, good. So is there any other question? So if there is no other questions so far, so then let's move forward. So that's the only thing we needed to see regarding this loading tab for today. Okay, how to apply. I've seen regarding the loading. I've seen basic loadings. How to apply masonry walls to a beam, even to a slab. How to apply the live load to the slab, how to apply the additional dead load to the slab. Those was the loading that we covered, and that's those are enough for our training. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, that's what we are going to see. Okay, before we conclude the loading part. So we are now going to see how to apply loads to the roof. Okay, the roof that we have created. That's what we are going to see. So So to apply the load to the cladding, the load to the cladding, so you come and select the cladding. Okay, so roof loads are applied to the cladding. Then if you go to you right click, you see edit load. Okay, select the cladding, right click, then go to edit load. Yes, then you have this table. So click on full uniform area load. Okay. Good. So we repeat. It's a matter of just selecting the cladding, right click, edit load, then we have this table. Okay. Good. Then click on here, uniform load area load. If you click on this, now you'll have load properties here below. Okay. So before starting assigning load, if you take a look here, okay, so we have a dead load and live load. So you have to differentiate. Do you want to apply dead load? Then you have to put G. If you want to apply a live load, then it will be Q, depending on which load you are going to assign. So let's say it is a dead load, so I will put G. Okay. Then I will come here below and put the magnitude of the loading. Okay. Let's say 0.5 for instance, kilonewton per meter square. Okay. And make sure the direction here. See where you have direction, it is gravity. It means it is going downward. So after putting this magnitude, you see here in the 3D view, you can see the preview of my cladding. Okay. So all I have to do is to make sure I select all portions of the cladding. Then if I zoom, you will see the dead load have been assigned, pointing downward. Okay, you must make sure it is pointing downward. It is pointing downward because I had gravity here. So if you click on this gravity, you have X, Y, and Z. So it means if, for instance, let me select one of the load here. Sorry. Okay, so let me select one of the load. If I select like this one, you see the arrow here, they are downward because it is gravity. But if I change to X and upgrade, you see they are in X direction now. Okay, so if I change again, I select change to Y, update, now they are in Y direction. Okay, so make sure that the direction is gravity so that it will be pointing downward. That's how it is supposed to be. Right now, in this case, I have applied all the dead load to the cladding. Okay, so if I wanted to apply the live load now, in that case I would have come here and change to Q. If you change to Q and click on the uniform load, then this will be the live load. Put the magnitude and select again everything. Now these are applied live loads. Okay, so in this case I have applied both. Then if I click on OK, now my cladding have, if I put a cursor, you can see on this pop-up there is live load and dead load. So that's how can apply the live and dead load to the roof. Okay, so try to do it. Just simple, just select the cladding, right click, edit loading, okay. Choose the uniform area load, choose if it is dead or live load, okay. Then after putting the magnitude, you'll have to select everything here. So you will automatically see this loading. So try it. Okay, so online people, how about you? How is it going? See a question from Mariana. My cladding is on ground floor. Oh, so your cladding is on ground floor? Can you explain? I don't understand why. Mariana, I need the clarification from your question so that I can assist.
Hello.
Yes.
Engineer.
Yes.
In my work, in plan, ground floor.
Okay.
It's sure I'm having a crowd, but in 3D it's okay. The cladding is in the top level.
Okay. So okay, I get it. So it means in the plan view it is wrong, but in the 3D view it's okay.
Yes.
So maybe, okay, what you have done, okay. So did you, when you were drawing these trusses and the cladding, you did it in a 3D view or you did it in a plan view?
3D view.
In a 3D view. So what you did, okay, you see, for instance here, you see I'm in a 3D view, right?
Yes.
So maybe you have modeled your trusses and all the roofing part in a 3D view, but here the story which was activated was story 1 instead of story or the top story. Okay. So in a 3D view you draw it at the top, but here the story which was activated was story 1. So in that case, you may go to the story 1 and you'll find that it is appearing here. So the only way to correct that is just to delete them and draw it again. So I see it is the same scenario with AN. So don't do that, okay, because this was just an exercise model. We are going to do what we have, we are going to apply what we have learned today to the main model, okay, the one you are modeling, the project I gave you, okay, so maybe we correct that on that project. So please follow here. We are done with the loading tab now. Let's go to the review tab before you start working on your project. So we are moving to the review tab, please. To the review tab. So the first thing we'll be seeing in the review tab, okay? So it means at this stage, you are supposed to have modeled all the members of your project. You have assigned the required loads, okay? Now we are going to investigate, okay? Investigate our model. Is there some errors that we made? Is there some mistake that we have made before we go to the analysis part, okay? So that's what we are going to do. We are going to do a review of our model as a preparation to launch the analysis, okay? So the first thing we'll start with, okay, is this building model check. So go to the review tab and run the building model check. This first tab. under review tab. We are no longer in loading tab. Now move to the review tab and open the building model check. So the building model check will double check all these errors, the one which are ticked here. It will check if there are overlapping of slabs, if there are overlapping of columns, and so on. Okay? So make sure that everything here is checked, okay? So that the software can cross-check all of this. So if everything is checked here, now click on Start. The software will run some calculation, if I can say. It will roll a bit. Then after a few seconds, you will see here at the bottom number of errors. Okay, so for my case, I have 0, but probably for your case, you have some errors. Okay, so do you have errors? 18 errors. Okay, how about others? Do you have some errors here? 10, 15, yes. It's okay, it's okay. We will see how to correct those errors. Let me check online people. Isaac have no error. Engineer Chedid 36. Okay, good. So you see, it is necessary to double check, okay, to see if there are some errors before going to the analysis. Because if you run the analysis having those errors, it will be a mess. Okay, good. Some of online people don't have errors, others they do. So let me try to create an error maybe here so that I can. Let me try to create like an overlap so that. So I'm going to run the building model check again. Then take a look here. The total number of my errors is 1. Okay. So I'm showing you how you will know which error do you have and how to correct them. Okay. So these, you see at the end, the conclusion is that I have 1 error. So what you have to do is to scroll up. You see I have 0, 0. Scroll up until you find that error. Okay. So you will have the full information regarding the error. So for my case, they are telling me that the error is on story 4. Okay. And the error is that the column 4C15 is and the 5C13 are overlapping vertically. Okay, so it means on story 4, column 4C13 and 5C13 are overlapping. So now I know the error. So these 2 columns are overlapping. So what I have to do, I can close this. Okay, I needed to locate. Okay, I know that the error is on story 4. Let me do it maybe in a plan view. It will be maybe much easier for you to see. So I will open story 4 because I know the error is on story 4. See now story 4 is activated. The error is on column. Okay, the error is on column. So I will go here under column, expand column. Okay, it was column 4C13, which is this one. Okay, so if I select it in a structure tree, then it will be selected even in plan view. So I have located the column which have the problem. Okay, so maybe I will tile my view so that you can see even the 3D view at the same time. Okay, so after selecting it, you see it is even selected in a 3D view. The issue was that this column 4C13 and 5C13 were overlapping. The 5C13, I know exactly that it is on story 5. It is on the same place but at the upper floor. So it means in a 3D view, this was C413. This is 5C13. So you see they are overlapping. So it is starting here all the way here. While the above column is starting here all the way down here. So they are overlapping. So I have to resolve this, okay? So I can automatically see that this one is the one which is causing problem because it is being elongated here. So I can open its property under Geo, then I can remove this top offset. Update. So I will remove to 0, then update. Now you see it is okay. The two columns are okay. So let me try again and run the building model check to see if the error is resolved. Now you see number of errors are 0. So I have resolved my my problem. Okay. So what errors do you have? So if you have some columns which are overlapping, that's how you will resolve your error. Okay. Yes. So here there is someone who have errors on all stories, and it is the same error. The reason is you have generated. So it means you had one error on story 1, then you have generated it up to story 6. Now you have 6 errors. Yeah. So that's why it is advised always to run the building model check even before going to the next story. Okay. So so I can see Engineer Chedi, beams and walls are overlapping. Okay. So it means you have placed a beam on the top of a shear wall. So that's the error. It means you should remove the beam which you have put it on the top of the shear wall. Okay. So A and B have a curve error which is clashing with another beam. Yes. So in that case, you have a scenario which is like don't have a curved beam. So you have maybe something. Let me see if I can try. You have a scenario which is looking like this. Okay. So you see this beam here and this one are intersecting somewhere before reaching the column. So you have something which is looking like this. Okay. Yes. So that's the reason. Then others, there is no error. Okay. So try to check the errors that you have and try to collect. Let's take like 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Try to see how you can correct those errors. And if you are not able to correct the error, let me know so that I can help. 5 minutes only is enough. Okay, sorry, I was muted. Yeah. I was saying that for the column section, okay, for the column section, it will classify all your columns in color code, okay, depending on the section. So for my case here, you can see that all the columns on the last floor are in blue color, which means that by looking to the code here, to the color code, to the legend, I can see the section 200 by 200. The remaining ones, they are 300 by 300. Good. So we have the same scenario for BIM section. Now, if I turn on the BIM section, I have only one type, which is 200 by 500. So it means all my beams have the same section. Okay. So these will help you just to have like an overview of your structure, of your building before even going to the analysis. Okay. I will turn off the BIM section. We have also material. Okay, I have two types of material. It means by default, all my concrete members have C30 as the grade of material, and all my steel members here at the top have this as the material. So tomorrow we'll see how we can change the material. Okay, but by now know that you can visually see what's going on. Then the next one will be the beam wall type. You remember the beam wall type that we created? Those masonry walls. Okay. You see, I can see that all these beams here, because they have the same color, they are the one I created, 200 millimeter brick wall, the one I created. Good. Are you able to see? Do you have manual design? You have like a wall. You don't have, but when you are assigning walls, you can assign even all manual without using. But I can see all are red. It means you have applied only red. So let's go on. Let's take a look to the slab additional dead load. Okay. So you remember we have applied slab additional dead load. You can see all my slabs are in green color. It means they have the same additional dead load. If you turn this on and you see that there are some slabs which have different color, so it means all your slabs don't have the same additional dead load. Okay. This is very, very important when you are designing like how do you call it? A multi-purpose building. Maybe you have shops on the ground floor. You have some offices in the middle. You have residential apartment at the top. So, because of the use of the flow, the live load will be different. Dead load may be the same, but the live load will be different. So in that case, if you turn the live load, you will be able to see that you have assigned those loads correctly or wrongly, depending on what they did. So it means for you, my friend, you have assigned the dead load to the ground floor only. So the remaining floor don't have loads. That's why only the ground floor, I mean the story one is having only changing. So this is how you can do a review, okay, of your project before going to the do the analysis. Okay, so that's it. So now this is the end of the loading part. Okay, so we have covered the modeling part. Okay, we have covered the loading part. We have also covered the review tab, the review part, okay, of investigating our structure. Then tomorrow, we will come and take a look into the analysis and design, okay? So if I bring our daily schedule, this was day 3. We have covered referencing, okay, and even importing members, modeling truss and roof members done, wall setting and applying wall loads is done, okay. Project modeling review, it is also done. So we are remaining with load application exercise that we are going to do in the remaining 1 hour, okay. So the load that you will be applying, okay, you are going to close the model that you have now, and we're going to open the model that we were working on yesterday, the one with the project that I sent in a WhatsApp group. You remember? So yesterday you had a task to model the story 1. Okay, you have already completed the story 1. So we'll model the story 2 and apply all the loads. Okay, so it means the load we need to apply, the main load I want you to apply will be these wall loads. Okay, so you have already modeled. Okay, so if you want to apply, let's say we have this bedroom here. If this is a column on your Protastructure, on your structure model, and you have provided another column here, for instance, here you have a beam. Okay, now the beam must carry this wall. This is a masonry wall. Okay, so we are going to apply this kind of loads. Okay, if this is a toilet, for instance, there is a variety of how can I say, the way you have modeled your structure is different from someone else, so it will depend on what you did. For instance, if I have provided column here, for instance, and I have provided beam like this, okay, it means all this is a slab. So it means if you will be applying this load will be sitting on a slab. So it will be different to someone else who have provided this and have provided also a beam here maybe. So for that one, this wall will be sitting on a beam. But if you didn't provide a beam here, then this wall will be sitting on a slab. Okay, so that's what you are going to do. So complete this task and make sure that you assign the appropriate load. Okay, and remember, while you are modeling, remember to double check the errors, modeling errors. Okay, if there are some errors, please try to correct it. So let's do that in the remaining 1 hour. And we have to make sure that we complete that task, because the same model will be used tomorrow morning in the analysis. Okay. So if you have errors in modeling, tomorrow in the analysis we have much more errors. So let's do that. Online people, I hope you have understood what you are going to do in the remaining 1 hour. Okay, so I will be available. So if you meet any problem, just let me know. So let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, so close the model you have now and open the project you're working on, then continue working. Okay. That we are doing exercises. So you are saying that you can't hear because I'm not talking. So everyone is doing the exercise. So do the same. Okay. So there is a model you were working on yesterday. Okay. So finalize that model and make sure that you have applied all the necessary coding, because it is the one we will be using in analysis and design tomorrow. So that's the task we are doing. And for now, I'm going to stop sharing because I have to model the that project as well, so that tomorrow I will have also the model to work on. So for now, I will stop sharing, but we are not ending the session of today yet. So just work on your model, and around in 50 minutes we will close today's session. Okay. Hello, virtual participant. Okay, and how far are you? Are you done with assigning all the lots? Even modeling? Okay, so the modeling is done and you are working on lots. Okay, good. So please make sure that by tomorrow morning you will be done with loading, because that model will be the one to be used during tomorrow's session. Okay, so for you it's okay. So how about others? Mariana, good. Daddy, good. So Romeo, how about you? Okay, I do remember you had a issue on with the internet today, Romeo. So you have to check the video, then make sure that by tomorrow morning we'll be done with the modeling. So Engineer Chedi, you are still modeling, so try to put some effort, okay? Because tomorrow morning the first action will be to check all your model. So I will have to go through all your model, what you have done so far. So make sure that by tomorrow morning everything will be set.